Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, ID Education, your daily education update. So today I'm going to do a super quick wolf cut. It's still trending, it's still the big thing on everybody's lips, and these textured haircuts are almost everywhere. So let's get straight on with it and I'll show you what we need to do. Here's the sectioning pattern, super simple. Through the top, from the outside of the eyebrows, right through to the crown, which I've separated off to be across the top of the head, two side sections, and keeping the back all in one. It's really as simple as that. And I'm going to start and get into it straight away by taking a section down the center, and we'll start that way. Let's show you. Center section. And I want it to be quite strong. So, I'm going to pick it up. If I turn the head around, you'll see what I mean. Turn it around there. Split this into two so I can handle it better. I want quite a sharp shape. Out to 90 degrees, a real layer. And cut this quite short. I want a choppier feel to this with loads of texture. Then I'm going to bring everything over directed onto that line and continue forward. Up. Just check it balances, yeah, cool. So everything from the crown is coming forward and everything from the front is coming straight up. So there's my over direction. I'm going to take a section next to it and I'm going to take that up and over, split it in two like I did the last one so I can handle it. Up to the center, 90 degrees to the head. So it's a really traditional layer. And the second part, I bring it up and over direct into the section. And I'll take another section next to that. So I'm working from the left to the right, from the left to the right, all the way through this haircut. Again, split into two, so I can handle it. Take that away. This is to the center. So everything is coming up to the center right now. 90 degrees for my layer in this front section. Let's include the next bit, over directed, over and into the section. So the length will be on the crown and I'll dictate the length of the back. So this will become my guide for this. So this way. I'll take one from the side and I'll show you this side. 1 second. Split that in two again. Up into the nose, over the front, cut my layer, add in my over direction, there we go. You can see it's starting to reveal itself already. So what I mean by one for one. So I'll take one this side, leave this a bit out, split that in two as I've been doing all along. And when I come up, I'm over directing to the center. Over direct to the center, 90 degrees to the head, hit my layer. Add in the second part, over direct forward, again over the center section, and cut. Bring that down, and do the same on the other side. Split into two, up into the center, cut my layer, bring in my over direction, over the center line, cut that, adding this tiny bit to the back. Just come round, up to the centre. And then I'm going to cross check. Put this down. I'm just going to do quite a quick cross check across the top. Pick it up. And that's pretty spot on. So that's my top section of this Wolfcut. Done. It's as simple as that. 45 at the front, split in two sections. Over direction to the front from the top to leave this length that becomes our guide for the back. So I'm going to use the last section here as my guide for the next section. So this time I'm going to take a section this way, and that becomes my guide. The last section on the top becomes my guide to the sides. And this time I don't pull to the centre, I'm pulling up from where that hair came. And I'm cutting it the same way. I'm going to cut 90 degrees to give myself a layer. Then I'm going to over direct from the back, over the top, into that section. And I'm going to follow this along all the way. So let's take it this way so you can see. Down, up to my guide, 90 to the head, over directed upwards, and then the back section comes over the top, and that's over directed there. So I'm getting this shape all the way. I follow this all the way through. Up to the guide, over directing forward, keep it nice and clean as I go. My last bit, here, up to the same guide, used all along, over direct, see the shape already taking shape. And guess what? Now I'm going to do the same on the other side, exactly the same thing. So now, release that, take a tiny bit of my previous, get all that away, I don't need it. Take my section from the side, lift up to that section, and that's my new guide. Not putting it in the centre, putting directly out from where this comes from. And over direct upwards. It really is as simple as that. Here we go. Up, forward, over direct. Let's cut the back. It's a simple section pattern. So, section straight down. Middle section, middle part, right at the back, right in the centre, and then everything is going to come towards that section. So I'm using the guide here on the top. That's going to give me my length. Then everything is going to be layered to that. So I pick it up, there's my guide, and I'm just going to cut off that. Let's do this, you can see, this way, over direct, upwards. I want to keep my length, what length there is, I want to protect it. Then I'm going keep working methodically through each section. Up, over direct slightly. Take all of this up. So I'm running out of hair because there'll be very little to come off. There you go. There it is. Take that off. Up to the centre. Then get my over direction. Nothing there. That's pretty much done. See that shape? Look at that. That's just beautiful. Follow the same thing through on the opposite side. And the only thing left to do is then to dry it and add the texture and show you some of the ways that I would then go on to personalize the haircut with point cutting, and sometimes, which I'll probably do today, is a little bit of razor work as well to add extra texture. I want this wolf cut to be lots of texture. So this is the finished wolf cut. This is the one I've just done. It's like super easy, really simple, easy to follow along. I haven't texturized it at all. This is just the way it's come out with the layers, and these layers add the texture that I'm looking for. Texture is really big right now. Through the end of 2025, going into 2026, you're going to see massive texture coming into play through loads of haircuts. The shorter haircuts, the little pixie, the Bixie haircuts, they're all going to show a lot more texture rather than the smooth out looks or the waves you've been seeing for a long time. So how am I going to give more texture? Is going to use some point cutting to show you. So I'm just going to give you some hints and tips in point cutting. So if I pick this line up and I want to soften the line to create a little bit more texture, I'm going to leave myself a really nice margin above my fingers. And then I'm going to use my scissors and come in really deeply. And on the out stroke, I'm going to close the scissors this way so that I'm going to be softly making my texture. This is extra slow, just to show you what it needs to look like. And that's going to make the ends more diffused and more texturized. So again, I'm going to lift up in the front, and I'm going to go in a nice margin, about 2 centimeters or an inch above my fingers. I'm going to go in quite deep. If I go quite steep this way, I'm going to make big chunks. So I want my scissors to be almost vertical, so at a very, very steep angle. Come in, and on the out pull, just gently pull the scissors closed to add extra texture. There you go. And in real time, I'll show you what it looks like. If I was in the salon, this is what I would do in the salon. In real time, I pick up, and this nice, soft texture. And this is how we create more looseness and lightening the layers to make them even more movement and make them softer, so we create more texture through the ends. So you get that lift and that diffusion of shape. Also, we can use the razor. My favorite is this, the feather blade. And with the feather blade, I think there's nothing like it as a tool. It's one of my favorite tools. I use it all the time in the salon. And I cut whole bobs with it, believe it or not. I've got on my channel, I've got a little French bob I've done with this, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's done with the razor. But with the razor, for instance, I could come over the top of the hair, pinch a bit in the center, and I just come down and just top slice it over the top. And that'll just give me a bit more diffusion. And I want that diffusion in the center. So if I diffuse it through here, it opens up the center point. So I can just start getting a bit more eye contact if this was on a client. And it makes those ends a little bit lighter. And with that lightness, I can then create more shape and more looseness and make it bend a bit more. And you can see it just opens it up, and it gives it that kind of, that almost, I don't know, a softer, looser feel to it. So just look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's just such a cool look. That's my look, that's my wolf cut. Free, easy, and just perfect. So this is the look I want to achieve. Softness, very natural, full of texture, layers doing the job they meant to do. So look at that, I just love it. So yeah, if you like what I do, then like, subscribe to the channel, support me as best you can, buy me a coffee if you want, and also hit the bell notifications, you get some notifications when I put new videos out there, and then comment to say what you liked or you didn't like, or comment to tell me what you'd like to see next. So that would be amazing too. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I know it takes a lot of time just to chug through these videos, but hopefully you find them really helpful. So yeah, from me, ID Education, Ian, then I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks.